Hey guys, so this week's theme is something I actually came up with. It's basically just discussing, following on from last week when we all talked about harassment, and then because of that we all also kind of talked about feminism. Just this week I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about what feminism actually is, or what the word itself means, because it's something that's troubled me and just confused me basically my entire life, and I feel like no one has ever really taught me what feminism is, what it means to be a feminist. And because of that, I've subconsciously associated loads of different things with the word feminism, and they've not been necessarily good things at all. I don't really feel like feminism gets taught in schools. Maybe you get taught about suffragettes, but apart from that hardcore kind of, this is what feminism is, and then you kind of get that really hardcore association with it, I guess you could say. Other than that, and then you kind of get writers like Germaine Greer, who's all like taste your menstrual blood and burn bras and that kind of crap. You just, I don't know, in my education I've not really got the best view, I don't think, of what feminism really is. And the reason I've been so reluctant to call myself a feminist is because of the negative associations I have with the word, and I think a lot of people have with the word as well. You say the word feminist at school, or you say to someone, I am a feminist, especially because I'm so young as well. I feel like people are like, yeah, alright, bit big for your boots kind of thing, because they think feminism is for women who are, number one, well educated, number two, kind of not man-hating, but just, I don't know, maybe man-hating is the word. A lot of people associate it with lesbians and with people who aren't actually like attracted to men, people who are butch. You just get a load of stereotypes associated with the word, and basically I have had an epiphany because I was reading this book by Caitlin Moran called How to Be a Woman. It's a really, really good book. It's really funny, but it is a book basically about feminist issues, and it's just kind of opened my eyes to what feminism actually means. The word feminist is about wanting equality for the sexes, and therefore all women should call themselves feminists. Why would you, if you don't call yourself a feminist, it's like saying that you don't want equal rights. You have every right to call yourself whatever you want to be called, you know, so if you don't want to call yourself a feminist, fine, it's up to you. But I no longer associate all of these different things with the word feminism because they're not associated in them. People have added them in along the way, but no one has ever said, look, ignore all that. The real meaning of being a feminist is someone who wants equal rights for men and women. And there are people who say that they don't believe in feminism, and Caitlin Moran points this out in her book. She's like, there are these really empowered independent women who are in these really high places, and they're like, oh, I don't really believe in feminism, but the fact that they're in these high places and that they have this voice in which they're able to say, oh, I don't believe in feminism, or that women are able to argue about feminism, the fact that we now have, at least in this country and in places like, I don't know, other more economically developed countries, we have a standing in society where we can argue about the fact that feminism might or might not exist, or whether it's butch or a negative thing, is a result of feminism, is a result of equal rights for men and women. And it's just like, we all should be feminists, basically. But basically I don't feel like I've ever been told what feminism means. I've never been educated about it, and so I feel like people my generation or my age, guys and girls, are being forced to kind of make our own imaginary assumptions about what it actually means, and it's just not the right way to go about it, and people then look down on feminism or just treat it differently. So if I come out and say, oh, I'm a feminist, it's like coming out of a closet almost. It's like a kind of risque thing to say, I feel anyway, because people then think that you're like really angry or gonna preach your views about sexism and all this kind of stuff, and it just doesn't mean that. It just means I want equal rights for men and women, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So that's what I wanted to say. So I was just interested in what everyone else has come across in terms of what feminism means, and I think it's so funny that women are so reluctant to call themselves feminists these days, and it's interesting as to why that is. So I thought this would be a good topic to talk about, especially following on from last week. So tell me what you think in the comments. Even the crazy people, the comments from last week, especially on like my video, were mental, so But even you crazy people have a right to say what you want to say, so go ahead and say it. I will see you next Monday. Bye!